Welcome, dear dreamer. Where are you tonight? Resting on your side in a quiet corner of the world, where the stars above are shining softly. Wherever you are, whatever kind of day you've had, I'm so glad you're here. Before we begin tonight's gentle journey, take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another relaxing bedtime story. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring more peace and wonder into this quiet space we share now. Take a long, deep breath in and exhale slowly. Let the muscles in your shoulders loosen. Let your thoughts float like clouds. It's time to leave Earth behind, if only for a while, okay? And drift gently through the quiet stillness of the cosmos. Tonight, we journey among the stars, following the slow, timeless paths of ancient wanderers, the silent travelers of space. Let's begin. High above us, far beyond the atmosphere and the winds and clouds, lies a realm of stillness. It's a place where motion has no sound, where light travels forever, and time stretches without hurry. This is space. In this deep expanse, everything moves. Planets rotate slowly on their axis. Moons orbit their parent worlds. The sun sends its light outward in every direction. Comets sweep past in glittering arcs. And then there are the asteroids. They are not flashy. They do not shine with their own light. They are not as large as planets, nor as graceful as moons. They tumble, sometimes slowly, sometimes swiftly. Some spin gently in place. Others wander across the solar system, pulled by ancient forces. They come in many forms. Some are rough and jagged, pitted with impact scars from eons of quiet collisions. Others are rounded, smoothed by time. Some are no larger than pebbles. Others stretch for miles, mountain-sized travelers, turning endlessly in silence. Most are made of rock, but some are metal, iron, nickel, and even rare elements forged in the hearts of stars. And many are dark, almost invisible against the blackness of space, as if they're hiding, watching, waiting. These are the asteroids, our solar system's travelers. Messengers from the past, drifting endlessly through the darkness. They've been here since the beginning. To truly understand asteroids, we must go back farther than memory, farther than history, even farther than life itself. We must return to a time when the solar system was just beginning, billions of years ago. There was no Earth, no Moon, no Mars, no Jupiter, just a massive cloud of dust and gas swirling through space, lit only by the early embers of a newly born star, our sun. This swirling cloud, called a solar nebula, began to collapse under the force of gravity. In its center, where pressure and heat grew strongest, the sun ignited, beginning its long life of light. Around it, the remaining dust and gas spun faster and faster, flattening into a glowing disk. Inside that disk, matter began to gather. Tiny particles clumped together, forming larger and larger pieces, first grains, then pebbles, then boulders, and eventually planetary embryos. Some of these growing bodies collided and merged to form the planets we know today: Earth, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. But not all matter found a home. Some chunks of rock and metal remained leftovers from the grand construction of the solar system. These fragments never became planets or moons. Instead, they drifted. Some settled into stable orbits. Others were nudged and scattered by the gravity of giant planets like Jupiter. And so, the asteroids were born. Ancient building blocks that never became part of a world. Pieces of a story left untold in the space between Mars and Jupiter. Many of these rocky bodies gathered into a loose band, the main asteroid belt. It's not as crowded as you might think. Space is vast, and even in this belt, the asteroids are separated by millions of miles. But they are their countless, silent objects orbiting the sun just as Earth does. Each one is unique. Some are solid and dense, made almost entirely of metal. These may be fragments of ancient planetary cores, Others are porous, light, and dusty like floating rubble piles held together by gravity alone. Some, like Ceres, are so large they're considered dwarf planets. Others, like Bennu or Ryugu, are small enough to land a probe on with a gentle touch. But all of them carry secrets about the early solar system, about water, about carbon, and maybe even about life. They are more than space rocks. They are time travelers, holding within them the echoes of the sun's birth, the whispers of planets forming, and the shadows of ancient collisions. And they are still moving. Some asteroids have wandered beyond the main belt over billions of years. Gravitational nudges have pushed them into new orbits. Some even come close to Earth. These are called near-Earth asteroids, or NEAs. Though the vast majority pose no threat, they are watched carefully by scientists, not with fear, but with curiosity. They remind us that space is not separate from Earth, but a part of our story. Sometimes, a tiny asteroid enters Earth's atmosphere, not as a danger, but as a visitor. As it falls, the friction causes it to burn, lighting up the sky as a meteor, a falling star. We often say, if it reaches the ground, it becomes a meteorite, a piece of the cosmos we can touch. And what a thought that is, holding in your hand a fragment of a rock that has drifted through space for billions of years, a piece of a world that never was. A traveler whose journey began before Earth had oceans, before the moon was born. These are the asteroids, humble, silent, eternal. They do not rush, they do not seek, they simply continue. Now that we've met the asteroids, those quiet wanderers born from the dust, and fire of the early solar system, let's slow our journey and observe the gentle forces that guide their paths. Imagine space as a great, invisible web, a network woven not of threads, but of gravity. Every planet, every moon, every tiny pebble has mass, and with mass comes pull. A gentle tug on the fabric of space itself. The sun, at the center, is the strongest pull of all. Its gravity keeps the planets in orbit and holds the asteroid belt in place, like beads on a spinning thread. But the sun is not the only influence. The planets, especially the giants, like Jupiter, also tug on the asteroids. They nudge them, shift their paths ever so slightly, send them into different orbits. Sometimes this pull is gentle. Other times it is strong enough to fling an asteroid out of the belt entirely, setting it on a long, looping journey through the solar system. This celestial dance is not chaotic, though it may seem that way at first. It's intricate, delicate, each movement, each curve, each orbit shaped by forces invisible to the eye, but constant through time. Some asteroids become Trojan asteroids captured by the gravity of larger planets. These companions travel in front of or behind a planet in its orbit, as if keeping pace, like silent guardians. Jupiter, again, hosts thousands of them, locked in place by an ancient gravitational balance. Others are known as Amor asteroids, or Apollo asteroids, depending on their orbits and how close they come to Earth. These visitors pass near us, sometimes crossing Earth's path, sometimes merely gliding by at safe distances. They are not threats in this story, but takes in all. Travelers whose paths and positions help us understand the rhythm of space. And just as gravity controls their motion, it controls ours, too. Earth, spinning quietly, moves in its own orbit around the sun. We, too, are part of this grand cosmic choreography. When we look up at the stars at night, we are seeing not just light, but movement, slow, vast, and eternal. Even now, as you lie back and breathe deeply, your body still and restful, your planet is moving, gliding silently through the blackness of space. The moon is pulling at the oceans. The sun is holding Earth in orbit, and far above, the asteroids are dancing too, slowly turning, always in motion, always in balance. Everything is moving. Everything is part of the dance, and somehow that dance has gone on for billions of years without music, without sound. It's gravity. But asteroids are not just rocks, not just ancient licks or drifting stones. Some scientists believe that they may have delivered the very ingredients of life to Earth. Long, long ago, when Earth was still young, it was a world of molten rock and fire. Volcanoes erupted endlessly. Meteors rained down. The sky was thick and dark. There were no oceans, no rivers, no rain. And yet, something changed. Water came. Life followed. But where did that water come from? One idea is that, long ago, icy asteroids and comets crashed into the Earth, carrying with them not just water, but organic molecules, the building blocks of life. These compounds, like amino acids and carbon chains, are necessary for life to form. Some asteroids, especially those rich in carbon, contain these molecules. Even now, scientists have found them in meteorites that landed on Earth's pieces of asteroids that survived the fiery journey through our atmosphere. Imagine that. A rock from space has fallen from the sky, carrying seeds of life's chemistry so ancient it predates the Earth itself. Perhaps life didn't begin on Earth. Perhaps it was delivered. These space rocks, once thought to be dangerous or irrelevant, might have been the gentle bearers of life's first whispers, and they continue to teach us. Missions like OSIRIS-REx, which visited the asteroid Bennu, have gathered samples and sent them back to Earth. These samples allow scientists to study untouched material from the early solar system to hold, examine, and understand rocks that have never been changed by wind or weather or time. Inside them are clues not just about our past, but about life itself, about how rare or how common life may be in the universe. Are we alone? Or are asteroids the mail carriers of the cosmos, scattering potential across the stars, one collision at a time? Even now, as you lie in your bed, as your breathing slows, and your eyes begin to flutter closed, those asteroids are still out there, turning, spinning, floating silently in the black. Somewhere out in the belt, a tiny rock the size of a school bus tumbles lazily. Its path takes hundreds of years to complete one orbit around the sun. It never sees Earth, never changes course. It just continues in darkness, unbothered by time. Somewhere closer, another asteroid drifts through a more elliptical path. Passed near Earth decades ago and might return in centuries. But now, it's quiet. Watching stars flicker, watching Jupiter loom large in the distance, cold, alone, and beautiful. We are connected to them, by gravity, by history, and perhaps by life itself. They are not distant. They are part of our story, and we are part of theirs. There is a place in our solar system that lies between two planets. It does not shimmer like Saturn's rings. It does not glow like the clouds of Venus. It is not a world of its own, but it holds millions of them. This place is called the asteroid belt, and it stretches between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. To the sleeping mind, might feel like a great cosmic meadow scattered with quiet stones and forgotten fragments. Yet in truth, the asteroid belt is mostly empty. It is vast. If you were to fly through it in a spaceship, you would see little but darkness. You could pass through the entire belt here and never see an asteroid, but they are there, like memories tucked into the corners of space. These asteroids orbit the sun, bound by invisible forces. They are leftovers from the solar system's birth rocks that never became planets, shaped by time and gravity. Some are no bigger than pebbles. Others are hundreds of kilometers wide. The largest of them all is Ceres, once considered just another asteroid. Ceres is now classified as a dwarf planet. It is spherical, like a tiny moon, and holds secrets beneath its surface, perhaps even water ice. Scientists wonder if Ceres could once have harbored the conditions for life. In the silence of the belt, it waits, turning slowly, always facing the sun, always following its path. Other notable residents include Vesta, Pallas, and Hygeia. Each one has a unique shape, a unique spin, a unique past. Some are made of metal, rich in iron and nickel. Others are carbon-heavy, dark, and ancient. This belt is more than a graveyard of failed planets. It is a museum of time, circling endlessly, whispering the history of the solar system, and beyond it looms Jupiter, the giant. Its gravity both protects Earth and disturbs the belt. It holds the belt in balance and sometimes flings pieces of it into space. Every now and then, a piece breaks free, and when it does, it may become a visitor. Not all asteroids stay in the belt. Some wander, some drift too close, and some are rare, who make it to Earth. Our planet bears the scars of these encounters. Craters scattered across its surface are reminders of when space reached down and touched the ground. One of the most famous is the Chicxulub crater, hidden beneath the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Around 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid, over 10 kilometers wide, slammed into the Earth. The impact unleashed energy greater than all the world's nuclear weapons combined. It sent dust into the sky, cooled the planet, and led to the extinction of the dinosaurs. And yet, from that tragedy, life evolved again. Mammals rose. Eventually, humans, in a way. That asteroid changed the course of life on Earth, reminding us how powerful these cosmic wanderers can be. Not all visits are destructive. In 2013, a smaller asteroid exploded in the sky above Chelyabinsk, Russia. It created a blinding flash and a powerful shockwave that shattered windows and startled thousands, but it caused no deaths. Scientists studied the fragments. The world watched the footage, and humanity was reminded the sky is alive. Even more recently, missions have gone to meet asteroids. The OSIRIS-REx mission visited the asteroid Bennu, collecting samples and sending them back to Earth. The Hayabusa 2 mission from Japan studied Ryugu, another ancient traveler, bringing back precious material from its surface. These encounters are peaceful, tale explorations, opportunities to touch the untouchable, to bring home the oldest rocks in the solar system. And when these tiny samples arrive, tucked safely in spacecraft capsules, they carry with them the stories of time, of stars, of planets, of the endless, dark between worlds. Tonight, as you listen and drift toward sleep, imagine holding a piece of an asteroid in your hand. It is older than any mountain, older than Earth itself, has never seen rain, never felt wind, only the cold and the silence of deep space. And now, in your imagination, you cradle it like a tiny star, a messenger from beyond. Long before telescopes, before space missions, and before science gave names to these wandering rocks, people looked to the night sky and wondered. They saw points of light that moved differently than the stars. They called them wandering stars, planets, and asteroids alike. And they told stories. The asteroid belt is full of names rooted in mythology. Ares, named after the Roman goddess of agriculture. Vesta, the goddess of hearth and home. Pallas, named for the goddess of wisdom. Eros, the god of love. These names are not accidents. They reflect how, for centuries, we have tried to understand the sky through story. When ancient people saw a comet streak across the sky, they believed it was a message from the gods or an omen of change. When meteors lit up the sky, they were seen as signs. Celestial events weren't just physical, they were spiritual. Asteroids, though small and distant, are part of that heritage. They are characters in a sky full of myth. And tonight, as you drift further into sleep, you become a storyteller too. Your mind, quiet and free, floats among the constellations. You see Ceres, dressed in flowing robes, scattering stars like rain. You see Vesta, tending a fire that burns in the darkness of space. You see Eros, drifting close to Earth, watching over love. Your dreams are filled with ancient symbols, with star maps and whispered legends, and all the while, the asteroids continue their quiet paths, keeping secrets, honoring names, holding stories as old as the sky itself. As we look to the future, asteroids are no longer just rocks in the dark. They are resources, challenges, and maybe, one day, some asteroids contain vast amounts of metals, platinum, rare elements that are valuable on Earth. Scientists and engineers imagine a future where we send missions to mine asteroids, collecting materials without damaging our own planet. Space companies are already exploring this idea. Missions might one day bring back metals from nearby asteroids, or even set up robotic mining stations. But mining is just one part of the picture. We also study asteroids to protect Earth. By understanding their orbits, sizes, and compositions, we can better prepare for any potential impact. NASA's DART mission Double Asteroid Redirection Test was a first step. It successfully changed the path of a small asteroid by crashing a spacecraft into it, showing that we can alter an asteroid's course if needed. This is more than science fiction. It is safety. It is preparation. It is the quiet work of protecting the only home we know. In some dream even bigger. In a distant future, we may live among the asteroids, build stations on them, use them as stepping stones to explore further Mars, the outer planets, and beyond. What feels like fantasy today may be reality tomorrow. So, as you fall deeper into rest, know this: the story of asteroids is not finished. You are living in it. Each time a telescope captures a new image, each time a spacecraft touches a faraway rock, each time a child learns the names of Ceres or Vesta or Bennu, the story grows. And perhaps, one night, long from now, someone else will lie down, look up, and listen to a quiet voice telling them about the ancient rocks that dance among the stars, and they too will dream. Tonight, while you lie warm and still, eyes slowly closing, somewhere on Earth, telescope is watching the sky. These are the guardians of our modern age, quiet sentinels scanning the heavens. High in the mountains or deep in deserts, they peer endlessly into the blackness above, tracking even the faintest light of an approaching object. Some of the most powerful observatories, like the Pan-STARRS in Hawaii or the Large Synoptic Survey Telescope in Chile, are designed specifically to find near-Earth objects. Their lenses are wide and hungry, capturing thousands of images every night. When they find a new asteroid, they give it a name, record its orbit, and share the data with scientists around the world. Each dot of light they track is part of our shared protection, a way to spot danger before it arrives. And above even these, orbiting silently, is NASA's NEOWISE, a space telescope that sees not invisible light, but in infrared. It can detect warm objects, like asteroids, glowing faintly against the coldness of space. These tools form a net around our planet's web of awareness. Because space is vast and Earth is small, but with knowledge comes safety. So rest easy. While you sleep, science watches over you. As your breathing deepens and your thoughts begin to float away, remember this: the sky is not a place that belongs only to rockets or telescopes or distant galaxies. The sky is yours too. Every time you look up and wonder, every time you imagine a journey between stars, every time your heart stirs at the sight of a meteor streaking by, you're part of something much greater. The asteroids that drift silently through our solar system are more than rocks. They are storytellers, time travelers, reminders of where we came from, and hints of where we might go. And tonight, you have followed them. You have drifted between planets, watched craters form, held space dust in your hand. You have seen the light of ancient stars reflect off iron and stone. In your mind's eye, you are floating now, above the Earth, surrounded by silence. A soft glow from the sun reaches your skin, and in the distance, a small asteroid turns slowly, calmly, just as it has for billions of years. And maybe it smiles back at you. So rest, traveler. The journey is never truly over. The cosmos is always waiting.